Some lessons don't come from books. They come from bruises. They come from life.
There is no substitute for experience, period.
Some of the biggest successes were a byproduct of failure.
If you want to learn, build, and grow,
Why not learn from somebody who's already paid the price for success?
the wisdom is in the gray.
This is the Graybeard Show.
Graybeard Show. Learn,
Build.
grow.
And welcome to the show. You're listening to the Graybeard Show. My name is Shawn Davis, but in case you didn't know, in case you didn't hear, just in case it wasn't quite clear, I go by Graybeard, and you're along with me as I'm talking about business today. I'm talking about business growth. I'm talking about business mentorship. I am a 3-time 7-figure serial entrepreneur, meaning that I've built 3 separate and distinct businesses. One was in financial services, one was in real estate flipping, and then another was in energy in the solar space in California. But had the great fortune and luck, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I've had some success in business. And I want to share some of the things I've learned specifically in the last couple of years with artificial intelligence. I think one of the greatest opportunities that we've ever seen for business scale, increasing your profits, saving time, is leveraging and utilizing artificial intelligence. The challenge is most people are very, very familiar with ChatGPT, but they're not familiar with the hundreds and hundreds of other examples of artificial intelligence that can help you save time in business and ultimately, hopefully make you more money. And so I'm going to be outlining that during today's show. So strap yourself in. This is going to be a little bit like drinking from a fire hose. It's going to blow your hair back, and I hope you can stay with me. But I will offer throughout this show an opportunity that if you're in business, if you're a solo entrepreneur, if you are a business owner, if you are an executive, if you're in sales, anybody out there hustling and grinding, if you want to use artificial intelligence to help you grow revenue and save time, I'm going to have an 8-session class that you can participate in, 8 sessions individually with me, tell you how to get it a little later. But let's just jump into the subject matter as it stands right now, right? So there's a moment in every era when the rules quietly change, and most people don't notice it happening until they're already behind. For some, it was the assembly line. For others, it was the internet. And for us right now, it's this new world of intelligent assistance, AI, automation, borderless collaboration. The change didn't arrive with fireworks or fanfare. It showed up in quiet ways. A marketing post you saw that was written by software, a customer service message that sounded human but wasn't, a competitor who suddenly started producing 3 times as much content as you, even though you swear they used to be slower than you. That's the divide. The old playbook still works, but it works slower. And the clock, boy, it's speeding up. So let me tell you the tale of 2 different entrepreneurs, all right? Let me tell you about 2 business owners I know, Mike and Danielle. Mike runs a printing business, old school, handshake deals, paper invoices, phone calls. He takes pride in it, but he's drowning in the details, late payments, misprinted orders, rising costs. He's exhausted, but he says, this is just how business is. Now, Danielle, on the other hand, she runs a small marketing agency. She's just as busy, but she's learned a new rhythm. She's used a few simple AI tools for writing and scheduling, and she has a virtual assistant in South America who handles client follow-ups. When Danielle wakes up, her inbox is already organized. When Mike wakes up, his inbox is full of fires to put out. They're both talented. They both work hard, but one of them built a business that keeps moving while she sleeps. The difference isn't technology, it's mentorship. Someone showed her how to think differently, because when you try to learn all of this alone, it's confusing. You don't know where to start, what to trust, or how to fit the pieces together. That's where mentorship comes in. I help business owners cut through the noise, not by doing it for them, but by showing them how to think strategically about it. Overwhelm right now is the real enemy. When I ask business owners why they haven't embraced AI or digital systems yet, the number one answer isn't fear, it's overwhelmed. They say, oh, there's too much to learn. I don't even know what questions to ask. And I think that's fair because nobody ever taught us how to run a business in a borderless, digital, always-on world. We were trained to manage people, not processes that think for themselves. But here's the secret. You don't need to understand everything. You just need to understand how to approach it. When I mentor someone, I don't start with software. I start with a conversation about clarity. What's stealing your time? What's making you anxious? What would your ideal day look like if half of your busy work disappeared? Once we answer those, the technology part becomes easy. AI is the hammer, but clarity tells you where to swing. Here's the first big mindset shift I teach. You are not the labor. You are the architect. Most entrepreneurs build their businesses like a bricklayer, one task at a time, one day at a time, until they're buried under their own creation. That definitely happened to me. I created a monster I couldn't control in financial services, a monster that almost killed me. So I speak from experience. I get it. What I help people do now is step back and see the blueprint. You don't need to be the person laying every brick. You need to design a process that can lay bricks whether you're there or not. That's where AI and virtual assistants come in. Not as gimmicks, but as part of the design. When you stop seeing yourself as the worker and start seeing yourself as the builder of your systems, the builder of your business, your whole perspective changes. You go from reaction to intention, from exhaustion to execution. And that shift doesn't come from a new app. It comes from strategic guidance. When most people don't cross the divide, I've been doing this a long time. I've met thousands of entrepreneurs, and I've noticed something. When people get stuck, it's rarely because of knowledge. It's because of loneliness. They're trying to evolve in isolation. They hear about AI, virtual assistants, automation, but it all feels abstract and out of reach. They tell themselves, I'll figure it out when I have time. But time never shows up. That's where mentorship changes the equation. When you have someone to walk beside you, the mountain shrinks. Someone to say, don't start here, start there. Someone to hold you accountable when you get distracted. Someone to help you celebrate the wins along the way. AI can't do that. ChatGPT can write you a plan, but it can't make you follow through with it. That's why guidance still matters more than gadgets. I'll tell you what I see every day in business owners right now. Two very different things. On one side, exhaustion, confusion, and survival. On the other, clarity, creativity, and momentum. Both groups work hard, but the second group learned to stop doing everything and start designing smarter processes. They use tools that make life easier. They build small systems that remove stress. And they have mentors who help them see what's possible. They're not necessarily more talented, they're just better guided. So here's something I have my coaching clients do. It takes 5 minutes. Grab a piece of paper, draw a line down the middle. On the left side, write things I do. The things you do throughout the day that you're responsible for, the things you do. On the right side, write things I design. Meaning you're putting purposeful thought into the designing of processes that might help you. Now look at your day. If 90% of your time is on the left side, the things I do, you're living in the old world. You're the worker in your own company. If you start moving tasks to the right side, designing, delegating, and systemizing, that's when you start to cross the divide. And if you're not sure how to move something to the right side, that's exactly what I'm here for. I'm a coach. I'm a mentor. I've been in business. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've made all the mistakes myself. I've made massive mistakes that have cost me millions of dollars. And you can learn from those mistakes. You can learn to build better than I did. So let's talk about speed for a moment. Technology now moves faster than comfort. By the time most people get comfortable with one thing, the next wave has already begun. That's why I tell my clients, you don't have to outrun the wave. You just need to learn how to surf it. AI, automation, virtual collaboration, these are not storms to fear. They're waves to ride. But you can't learn to surf by reading about it. You learn by getting in the water with someone who's already done it. That's the role of a mentor, not to paddle for you, but to help you balance, to tell you which waves to catch and when to step off before you wipe out. This isn't a tech show. It's a transformation show. It's about reimagining how we work, lead, and grow in a world that rewards adaptability more than experience. AI and virtual assistants aren't replacements for people. They're amplifiers of potential, but without wisdom to guide them, they can just create faster chaos for you. That's why this show and the work I do isn't about chasing every new trend. It's about learning how to think about technology through a lens of strategy and sanity. You don't need to learn 100 new things. You just need to learn the right thing to do next. And that's where mentorship comes in. I've spent my life building businesses, mentoring others, and watching this world shift from analog to digital to now intelligent. And here's what I've learned. The tools change, but human nature doesn't. People still need encouragement. They still need accountability. They still need someone to remind them that their dream is possible. AI can speed up your work, but it can't strengthen your will. That's what mentorship does. So if you're listening right now and feeling that mix of curiosity and maybe a little resistance, that tug between, I know I should, and I don't know where to start, that's your signal. Not to download another app, but to find someone who can help you translate this moment into action. Because this isn't just a new chapter of business, it's a whole new language of business. And the faster you learn to speak it, the more opportunities will open up in front of you. In our next segment, we're going to dig deeper into what it takes to think like a designer, to move from operator to architect. Because the truth is, the tools don't matter nearly as much as the mindset that uses them. Once you start thinking like a builder of systems, everything else, AI, VAs, automation, all of it starts to make sense. That's where the real shift begins. So stay with me. We're just getting started. And if you're interested, what I'm offering right now is an 8-session Grow Your Business with AI bootcamp with me. 8 individual sessions over the next 4 months, one every 2 weeks, where we're going to strategically work together to increase your profits and save you time and get you onboarded with some tools in the artificial intelligence that can do both those things, increase profits and save time. If you're interested in this 8-session, 4-week bootcamp with me, here's all you need to do. Take out your phone right now and text Graybeard, Greybeard, Graybeard to 84503. So key in 84503 into your phone like it's a number from a friend you're going to text, and just text Graybeard, Greybeard, Graybeard to 84503. My team will be in touch. We'll tell you all the details of the Grow Your Business with AI 8 sessions, 4 months, 1 session every 2 weeks, increase profits, save time, get onboarded with AI in your business. Let us help you find the way. Let us help you ask the questions that you don't know how to ask to determine which tools are going to be best for you. All you got to do is text Graybeard to 84503. So let's shift your mindset a bit. Every business owner eventually hits the wall. It's that moment when hard work stops being enough, right? You're moving fast, but you're not moving forward. Your calendar's full, your inbox is overflowing, and your dreams are collecting dust in a file called Someday. And when you finally stop long enough to breathe, you realize something uncomfortable. You built yourself a job, not a business. That's the wake-up moment. And it's not about intelligence or effort. It's about mindset. Most entrepreneurs start as operators. You had an idea, a product, a skill, and you went all in. You became the salesperson, the marketer, the bookkeeper, the customer service rep, the social media manager, and the janitor. And for a while, that's exactly what it takes. You build muscle through repetition. You build credibility through sweat. You earn your stripes by doing it all. But over time, what once felt like freedom begins to feel like a cage. You can't take a day off without losing momentum. You can't delegate because nobody does it quite like you. And the more your business grows, the heavier it can feel. That's the trap of the operator. Success built entirely on personal effort. There is another way. Architects don't build with their hands. They build with their vision. They don't ask, what can I do today? They ask, what can I design so this runs without me? That's the shift from operator to architect, from worker to the builder of systems. And the moment that clicks, everything changes. I once worked with a woman named Melissa who owned a small catering company. She was gifted. Her food, her service, her heart for people, top notch. But she was drowning. When we met, she said, Graybeard, I can't grow because I can't breathe. If I step away, everything stops. So we started with a single question. What are you doing that someone or something else could do 80% as well as you? That's the question I ask. What are you doing that someone or something else could do 80%, not 100%, but 80% as well as you? She laughed. Everything. That's when I said, good, then let's start designing. We didn't talk about AI, at least not yet. We didn't talk about apps, not yet. What we talked about was letting go. Because delegation isn't a technical skill, it's an emotional one. You have to be willing to release control, trust an imperfect progress path, and give people or systems room to grow. That's where mentorship helps most. A good mentor doesn't just tell you what to do. They help you face why you haven't done it yet, because most of you out there know you need to be doing things differently. You know what keeps most entrepreneurs stuck? It's the illusion of control. We tell ourselves, if I do it right, it'll be right. If I hand it off, something will go wrong. But here's the truth. Doing everything yourself doesn't prevent mistakes. It just guarantees your exhaustion. And exhaustion is the silent killer of creativity. When you're tired, you stop innovating. You stop dreaming. You just start basically surviving. That's why the first thing I do as a mentor isn't to install new systems. It's to remove old lies, mindset lies. Lies like, I'm the only one who can do it. It's faster if I just do it myself. Technology is too complicated for me. Those aren't facts. Those are fears dressed as wisdom. Those are lies. And once we pull those weeds, the soil is finally ready for growth. Architects think differently. They ask smarter questions. They design before they act. They look at a process and say, how can I make this automatic, repeatable, teachable, or delegatable? They build frameworks, not fires. When I mentor business owners, I help them learn this mental model. If you have to do it more than twice, it needs a system. The simple rule changes everything. It makes you stop before reacting. It forces you to think strategically, and it gives you time to breathe again. Here's the truth that nobody likes to admit, though. It's really hard to change how you think while you're still inside your own noise. Let that hit for a second. It's really hard to change how you think while you're still inside your own noise in your head. That's why high performers have coaches. Executives have advisors, and great athletes have trainers. Not because they're weak, but because they know that accountability accelerates growth. AI can give you answers, but it can't ask you the right questions. It won't call you out when you're slipping into old habits. It won't say, wait, why are you still doing that manually? That's where the mentor comes in. I don't give another to-do list. I help you delete the wrong to-do lists. So let me give you a simple real-world picture, right? Imagine you run a local landscaping business. As an operator, you're doing everything. Quoting jobs, sending invoices, checking crews, posting updates, ordering supplies. As an architect, you step back and ask, can a virtual assistant handle quotes and scheduling? Can AI draft those customer emails? Can my foreman send photos through a shared folder instead of texting me 20 times a day? These 3 small changes could save you 10 hours a week. But you wouldn't see those opportunities if you didn't first change your thinking. That's what mentorship does. It helps you see what you can't see, helps you to start in your mind first. That's where everything needs to begin. And I'll be honest with you, the shift isn't easy. It means confronting your identity. Many entrepreneurs tie their worth to their workload. They say, if I'm not busy, I'm not valuable. I know that because I've said it myself, and I've talked to hundreds of other people that say the same thing. But busy isn't the same as being productive. And working yourself to the ground isn't noble. It's unsustainable. You have to trade the pride of being indispensable for the peace of being effective. When I mentor someone through that transition, the change from being, in their mind, indispensable, I'm the only one that can do it, to being much more effective, there's usually a week or 2 of discomfort. They feel guilty for delegating. They worry that they're being lazy. Then, one morning, not too far out, they sit down, look at their calendar, and realize they're finally free to think again. That's when it clicks. That's when they say, why didn't I do this sooner? When you're buried in the details, everything feels urgent. But when you zoom out, you start to see patterns. You see the 20% of actions that are creating 80% of your results. As a mentor, that's often my main job, to help clients find the pattern hidden inside the panic of your business life. Once you see it, you can focus your energy where it counts. And when you combine that clarity with the right technology and support, the whole business begins to hum like a well-tuned engine. I teach my clients a phrase they can repeat whenever they start slipping back into the operator mindset. Here's the phrase: I build, others run. That doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you start leading. It means you design the framework, then empower others, human or digital, to carry it out. When you do that, you create leverage that compounds over time. And the best part, you start feeling lighter, because freedom isn't found in doing everything right yourself. It's found in letting the right things run themselves, allowing other people to have ownership in your business process. Now, let's be honest. Change sounds exciting in theory, but it's hard in practice. The gravitational pull of, well, this is how we've always done it. Well, it's a strong one. That's why accountability is non-negotiable. AI won't hold you accountable. It won't text you at 6 a.m. to ask if you followed through, but a mentor will. I had clients tell me, Graybeard, I didn't need more information. I need someone to make sure I use what I already know. Exactly, because information without application, it's just noise. That's where I come in, to help turn insight into implementation. The future does not belong to the busiest people. It belongs to the best thinkers. AI and automation is changing everything. And thinking well doesn't happen by accident. It happens by design, by discipline, by systems, and by having someone walk beside you when your learning curve feels too steep. You don't have to know every tool. You just have to know how to approach change. That's what I help people do. Move from scattered effort to strategic design, from chaos to clarity, from being the engine to being the engineer. So if you're feeling stuck or stretched thin, I've been there. Don't beat yourself up. It's not that you're behind. You're just ready for a new role. In the next segment, we're going to talk about how to extend your reach, how to multiply your capacity without multiplying your stress in business by bringing virtual assistants into your world. Because once your mindset shifts, the next step is to build your first layer of leverage. And I'll show you exactly how to do that, the smart, simple way. But before I do, if you're listening right now, if this is informative, if it's educational, if it's enlightening to you, if you'd like to use artificial intelligence to help simplify your processes, increase profits, save time, I've got an 8-session class directly with me, one-on-one, over the next 4 months, 8 meetings, one every 2 weeks, where we will grow your business with AI. If you'd like to learn more, all you got to do is text Graybeard, Greybeard, to 84503. It's a 5-digit number on any texting app. Go to your smartphone, Google or Android, doesn't matter. Go to your texting app, key in 84503, and then just text, I'm the EY, Graybeard. Text Graybeard, Greybeard, one word, Graybeard, to 84503. My team will be in touch. We'll share with you a little bit more about the program, how it works. But what you need to do now is text Graybeard to 84503 if you want to grow your business with AI, increase profits, save time. I'll teach you what you need to know. 8 sessions, 4 months. Text Graybeard to 84503. When most people hear virtual assistant, they imagine a stranger in another country answering emails. That image is wrong. It's about 10% of the story. The real opportunity isn't just hiring a helper. It's learning how to multiply yourself. That's what leverage really means. Getting more done at higher quality with less personal drag. And when you do it right, a good VA becomes the difference between being busy and being effective. Here's the simple truth. Effort alone doesn't scale. You can't outwork time. You can only outthink it. And leverage, the ability to get big results from small inputs, is the business owner's secret weapon. A virtual assistant is one of the simplest, fastest ways to create that leverage. But here's where people go wrong. They hire a VA without a strategy. They treat it like a Band-Aid instead of a blueprint. And within weeks, they're frustrated, saying, I tried that, it didn't work. The problem wasn't the assistant. It was the architecture. It was the direction. It was the teaching. Delegation without direction just creates new confusion. It creates chaos. That's why mentorship matters. I don't just help people hire people. I help them build structure. I once worked with a realtor named Sandy. She was great with people, but terrible with paperwork. She hired her first virtual assistant, a young woman in Colombia. At first, she treated her like a personal assistant. Send this, post that, copy this. Then Sandy and we talked. And I told her, Sandy, if you want to scale, stop giving your virtual assistant tasks. Give her outcomes. So she redefined the role. Instead of saying, post this listing, she said, you're responsible for keeping all listings updated online and in print. Your goal is accuracy, consistency, and response time. That was her new charge for her virtual assistant. And it changed everything. Her VA took ownership. She learned to use Canva for graphics, the VA did, AI for writing short descriptions, and a free scheduling tool to plan posts automatically. Suddenly, Sandy wasn't managing her. She was collaborating with her. And that shift tripled Sandy's production within 2 months. That's leverage. So let's talk about the emotional side. Delegation is simple in theory, terrifying in practice. I know, I've been there. The thought of handing something off triggers fear. What if they mess it up? What if clients notice? What if I lose control? But here's the paradox. The longer you wait, the more control you actually lose. Because you become the problem. You become the bottleneck. Every problem sits at the speed of your own attention. Everyone's waiting on you to respond because you're micromanaging. Everything's got to be passed through you. So now you're having to attend to everyone's job, including your own. When I mentor entrepreneurs, I help them replace that fear with structure. You don't hand off trust, you hand off process. Trust comes later when the process works. And once you experience that first small success, when something happens correctly without your involvement, it changes you for the better. That's when you start saying, what else can I delegate? So let's make this real. Let's put some math to it. As my former math brain, former 22-year fiduciary financial advisor. So let's say your time is worth $100 an hour, and you spend 10 hours a week on tasks someone else could do for $10 an hour. That's $1,000 of value burned every week. It's $52,000 a year doing things you could have delegated. Now imagine hiring a virtual assistant for $400 a month who removes 10 hours of work weekly for you. That's not an additional expense for you. That's a 10x return on your investment. You're getting 10 times the value you would have otherwise gotten by having someone else do what you're doing, and then you're allowed to make more money. But you only see that when you start thinking like an architect, and a mentor helps you see the math clearly, not as risk, but as return, not as an expense, but as an investment to get your time back, to make more money. If you could make $100 an hour, why are you busying yourself doing tasks that you can pay a virtual assistant $10 an hour to do? Does that make sense to you? Now, here's where the magic happens. When your human assistant uses AI as their assistant, you don't have to be the tech expert. They can be the tech expert. Let's say your VA uses AI tools to write first drafts of emails or posts for you, summarize meeting notes, clean up your data lists, translate content into another language. They're still add judgment, tone, and polish. But now they're doing 5 times the work in the same time frame. And since you're paying them by the hour or project, your cost per result drops dramatically. That intelligence is leverage. And it doesn't require you to be a tech genius, just a wise leader with the right guidance. Here's something I tell every client I work with. Your VA isn't an employee. They're a partner in efficiency. When you treat them with respect and inclusion, share your goals, celebrate wins with them, they respond with loyalty and care. I've seen VAs go above and beyond for clients who treat them like part of the team. They take initiative, they catch errors, they find creative solutions. When you combine good leadership with good technology, distance stops mattering, trust starts growing. And that's where mentorship quietly amplifies everything, because I don't just show people how to use help. I showed them how to lead the help you are using. When I first started mentoring business owners on this, most of them came in thinking technology was the hard part. But by the time we're done, they realized the hardest part was giving themselves permission to get help. It was changing their mindsets on business and how to do things. They don't need more hustle. You don't need to grind more. They need more strategic, intellectual help. They need an efficiency expert. You need to hand off processes that others can do for you for a fraction of the cost. Virtual assistants and AI aren't replacements for people. They're reinforcements of purpose for us. They let you reclaim your energy and reinvest in what it matters most: your family, your faith, your future, your business, marketing, strategy, charting the course for where your company is going to go. If you're all tired, if you're exhausted, if you're doing everything, micromanaging everyone, there's no way that you have the creative capacity to chart the future of your business. You're going to burn yourself to the ground. I know, because I've done it. I lived that life in financial services. That's why I ended up getting out of the business. I burned myself out. That's why I believe mentorship is so essential in this stage, because delegation without guidance can cost you money, but delegation with structure can make you a fortune. In the next segment, we're going to talk about the tools, not the overwhelming list of hundreds of apps, but I'm going to talk about specific AI tools that can be extremely helpful, a handful of simple, practical ones that actually save time and money. We'll talk about what to use, what to ignore, and how to pick the right tools for your business without losing your sanity. Because once you have the right mindset and the right help, the next step is to give that help the right gear and tools. So stay with me. This is where it really starts getting fun. We're going to talk about AI next. But if you're along with me right now, if you're running a business, if you're a solopreneur, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business owner, if you're in sales, if you have your own business of any sort, if you want to grow your business with AI, but you have no idea where to start or where to begin, I've got an 8-session class over 4 months. You'll work directly with me, 8 sessions, 1 hour apiece, one every 2 weeks. And what we're going to try to do, we're going to try to increase your profits and save you massive amounts of time. We're going to give you that creative freedom again. We're going to free up time so you can strategize on how to build the business more effectively. Think about different marketing opportunities, or just have more freedom in your life and not feel like you built yourself a job instead of a business. All you got to do is reach out to Graybeard, Grey, text Graybeard, my name, all one word, Graybeard, Greybeard to 84503. It's a 5-digit short code text number. You text it like it's a phone number for a new friend you met, but instead of it being 10 digits, it's 5 digits, 84503. You text my name, Graybeard, to that. My team will be in touch. We'll tell you all about this master class. It's a boot camp, really, on how to grow your business with artificial intelligence. 8 sessions, 4 months, increase profits, and save yourself time. All you got to do is text Graybeard to 84503. So let's be honest. Most business owners hear the word AI and instantly feel kind of one of two things, okay? Curiosity or anxiety. One of the two. They picture robots and algorithms or software dashboards full of graphs, okay? But here's the truth. AI isn't technical. It's tactical. It's just a new kind of helper that listens, learns, and works really, really fast. You don't need to know how it's built. You just need to know how to tell it what you need. That's where I come in. My job as a mentor is to take that mystery, shrink it down, and make it usable so you can see where it fits into your business world without getting lost in the noise. So let's strip away the jargon, all right? AI, artificial intelligence, simply means software that can think a little. It can write, it can read, It can summarize, predict, or organize faster than any person can. But it still needs guidance. It needs you to say, here's what I'm trying to accomplish. That's why AI plus mentorship, strategic mentorship with me, works so well. It gives you the horsepower. A mentor helps you to know how to suggest to steer the car. When people try to do it alone, they usually end up spinning the wheels, getting generic results, or wasting hours exploring tools they don't need. Okay. When we do it together, it's focused, it's clean, it's strategic. One of my clients, Rob, runs a small HVAC business. Okay. He's great at service calls, terrible at paperwork. His VA handles most of the scheduling. So his virtual assistant handles most of the scheduling, but she was spending hours writing up job summaries and estimates. So we introduced a simple AI writing assistant. She would type, write a short job summary for a residential AC replacement. Keep it friendly and professional. Seconds later, it produced a polished summary ready for Rob's review. Now, something that used to take 15 minutes takes 90 seconds. She still checks it, Rob still approves it, but AI handles the heavy lifting. That's what I mean by an intelligent assistance. You're not automating people, you're elevating people with technology. So here's a few tools that most anyone can learn in an afternoon. These are business tools I think that you should know about as a business owner. You don't need a tech degree. You just need curiosity and some clear outcomes or clear directions. So everyone kind of understands ChatGPT. It's the thinking partner. Think of ChatGPT as your idea buddy. It can write, brainstorm, summarize, explain, or draft. Need an email template? All you do is ask it. Need 5 taglines for your website? Ask it. Need a polite response to a difficult client? Ask it. It doesn't replace your voice. It just gives you a head start. So the next tool I want to talk about is Perplexity AI. It's a research scout. Perplexity searches the web, summarizes what it finds, and cites the sources. It's like having an intern who only brings you the best parts. Perfect for marketing trends, pricing comparisons, or finding article ideas. So I run a solar business. As I said before, not to toot my own horn because I'm a recovering narcissist. I don't want it to be about me. It's never about me. But contextually, I want you to understand I have run and built 3 7-figure completely separate businesses. I spent 22 years as a fiduciary financial advisor. Sold that practice in 2017, then had the grand idea of flipping houses in California like Chip and Joanna Gaines do in Texas. My wife and I and 4 boys flipped houses, and we had some great years and experiences. I did not like that business, but then I fell into an opportunity in energy, and for the last 5.5 years, I've been running a solar company in California. Now, solar company in California, that's an excellent option for me to talk right now about Perplexity AI. See, I use Perplexity to help me research what's going on with energy prices, utilities, and rates in California. It helps me to understand how energy prices have gone up. It cites me all of the statistics I need to know, citing sources, etc. It's a great use for me to compile information that I'm going to share to my audience when I do a show about solar. So let me talk about another tool, Canva. Canva has added AI that can remove backgrounds, design your social media posts, and resize graphics instantly. It's the easiest way to make your business look polished without hiring a designer. Canva can be used to create any social media post that you have with great graphics. You can leverage it to do the most current trendy trends in social media. You can use it in business. But as a mentor, I would help you to understand what those are and how to incorporate that. Let's talk about another one, Mixo.io. This is the instant website maker. Many of you out there want to make everything perfect about your business before you launch. You want a new website. Wouldn't it be great if you could have 5 different examples of a website in less than an hour? Would that be awesome? So type a few sentences about your business. For example, I'm a life coach helping busy parents build balance, okay? Mixo builds a working website in minutes, and you can customize it later, but it gets you online fast. It gets you down how many of you out there in Radio Land spent a ton of time, more than just a handful of seconds designing and curating your website. And by all means, some need to have a lot of time spent on them, but others to launch your side hustle or to launch your business, if you could have launched it quickly using AI technology to give you the best possible design you can because you don't know what you don't know, why wouldn't you, right? This is leverage. It's time leverage. Here's another one. Runway ML, the video editor for non-editors. I can't count how many times I've talked to somebody that says, I'd love to get into social media. I'd love to get into posting, but I don't know how to video edit. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. Okay. So here's all you do. You use Runway ML. You upload your clip, type brighten, trim, or add captions, and it does it. No timeline editing, no jargon. These aren't futuristic. They're available right now, mostly free or very low cost. And the real challenge isn't learning them. It's prioritizing which ones to start with first. And that's where a mentor helps you sequence the steps so you don't drown in options and processes. Every successful AI adoption I've seen starts with one small, obvious win. Maybe it's automating follow-up emails. Maybe it's having AI write your product descriptions. Maybe it's using AI to turn your handwritten notes into meeting summaries. You don't start rebuilding your company. You start reclaiming 30 minutes of your day at a time. Once that works, the confidence, it snowballs. That's the rhythm I coach people into. Small wins, stacked consistently, create massive transformation. That's what we're trying to do with this 8-session course. Create small wins that transform your business and get you eager to adopt more AI because it increases your profits and saves you time. It's leverage. Every small business owner out there should be using AI every single day as part of their business processes, whether it's scheduling, ideas, automation, whether it's emails, marketing, whatever it is, you should be using it every single day. So let's be honest. When you hear people talk about AI strategies or digital transformation, it sounds overwhelming, right? That's why I teach something simpler. Problem first adoption. Don't ask, what can AI do? Ask, what's slowing me down? That's one of the first questions I'll ask you. What's slowing you down? What's taking the most of your time? What tasks do you repeat every single day that you could automate or should automate? Then we find the tool that kills that friction point. It's cleaner, it's calmer, it's simpler, it's actually sustainable. It creates a win because if technology adds stress, it's not serving you. If it adds stress, it's enslaving you. My job as a mentor is to make sure the tools serve you, not enslave you. One thing I warn people about, trying to learn this all alone. The internet is flooded with tutorials, YouTube channels, and the top 50 AI tools lists. And that's the problem. Too many voices, not enough clarity. I've seen smart entrepreneurs waste months chasing every new platform instead of mastering the one that mattered. Mentorship shortens that curve. You don't need more tutorials. You need direction. You need accountability. You need someone to say, forget those 10, focus here first. And that's how you turn information into momentum. I know there's a fear out there, though. Will AI take my job, my business, my relevance? No, not if you learn to partner with it. AI replaces repetition, not relationships. It can handle pattern and process, but it can't replicate trust, empathy, intuition, or creativity. When I work with clients, I tell them, let AI handle the chores so you can handle the conversations. Let AI handle the chores and the processes so you can think about the vision of where the company's going to go. That's the real win. More human time, less digital drag. I often describe my role like a translator standing between two worlds. On one side is you, the entrepreneur who knows your craft, your clients, your heart. On the other is technology, powerful, fast, and sometimes confusing. My job is to stand in the middle and say, here's how to make them work together. Because AI alone can't understand your values, but you can't maximize it without guidance. Together, we can build systems that reflect you, your tone, your purpose, your boundaries. That's where the real magic happens. Technology with a soul, automation with integrity. One of my clients, Jenna, ran an online boutique. She was close to quitting. Too many orders, too much customer service, not enough joy. So we picked one area, product descriptions. She was spending hours writing product descriptions. We introduced ChatGPT, trained it to match her playful tone, and built a small checklist her VA followed before posting. Her time on listings went from 3 hours a day to 20 minutes. Then we added Canva's AI to make simple product videos. Her online engagement tripled. A few weeks later, she said, "Graybeard, I'm having fun again." That's what it's about. Not robots, not algorithms, but restoring joy through clarity and leverage. Let me tell you this. You don't have to be a tech person to succeed with AI. You just need to be a student of process. I've coached 70-year-old business owners who swore they'd never use AI, and now they're teaching their kids how to use it. Because once you see how much time it saves, the fear disappears. You start to realize this isn't about technology at all. It's about freedom. Freedom from repetition. Freedom from that burnout that you're inching closer and closer to. Freedom to grow again. Freedom to have peace again. And that's what mentorship really delivers. Confidence to move forward without drowning in the details. The right tool used with the right intention changes everything. It's not about chasing the next big thing, I should say. It's about designing a simple toolkit that gives you time, clarity, and peace of mind. When we work together, I don't hand you a pile of apps. I hand you a plan. I help you build confidence, not clutter. Because AI can make your business faster, but mentorship makes it smarter. So if you've been curious but hesitant, start here. Pick one problem that you're dealing with day to day that's just a problem that you'd rather never have to worry about again, and find one tool that we can use to solve it. And remember, you don't have to do it alone. In our next segment, we're going to connect the dots and talk about what happens when these tools, assistants, and systems start working together. That's when the business stops feeling like juggling and starts feeling like flow. Okay? If this is interesting to you, though, if you'd like to learn how to incorporate AI in your business, all you got to do is text Graybeard, Greybeard, to 84503. Grow your business with AI. I've got an 8-session masterclass, call it a boot camp, whatever you want. 8 sessions over 4 months, increase your profits and save time. We'll give you enough information and enough time to implement. We'll be strategic with it. But my sole mission is to help you increase your revenue and save time in the process. Save your sanity, save you from burnout. All you got to do is text Graybeard to 84503. Picture this. You wake up on a Tuesday morning, pour your first cup of coffee, and glance at your phone. Your invoices for your business, guess what? They were sent overnight. Your virtual assistant confirmed all your appointments for the day. Customer messages were answered politely and directly, already done. And your social post for the media today was already live. You didn't stay up late. You didn't hustle harder. You just built a system that quietly hums in the background, an invisible engine for your business. That's the goal of this whole conversation. It's not about adding more work to your life. It's about building intelligent rhythm into your business so it runs smoother, whether you're there or not. Most entrepreneurs live in what I call the chaos zone. They bounce from one urgent thing to another. They answer the phone mid-task, reply to emails at red lights, and end every day thinking, I worked all day and still didn't get ahead. That's not a time problem. It's a systems problem. Automation is how you move from chaos to flow. It's what gives your business momentum, a sense that progress keeps happening even when you pause. You want a business that runs without you having to run the business from moment to moment. And once you experience that, you'll never go back. So let's strip away some buzzwords. Automation doesn't mean robots taking over. It means rules that run automatically. If X happens, then Y follows. That's it. For example, when a customer books an appointment, they automatically get a confirmation email. When an invoice is paid, the system marks it complete and thanks them. When a lead fills out your website form, your VA gets notified and AI sends a friendly welcome message. This isn't science fiction. It's basic 2025 business systems with AI. It's the difference between remembering everything and designing things so you don't have to remember everything. People often confuse freedom with flexibility. I'll just wing it, Graybeard. I'll just wing it. But real freedom doesn't come from having no structure. It comes from having invisible structure. Think about music. The drummer's rhythm gives everyone else freedom to improvise. Without the beat, the whole thing collapses. Systems are your rhythm section. They keep your business in time so you can focus on the melody, the part only you can play. That's how I teach my clients to think. You don't need more effort. You need more rhythm. So let's say you run a coaching business, okay? Here's what automation might look like for you. A potential client fills out your online form. They immediately receive a thank you message explaining next steps. That message automatically adds them to your email list and your calendar. Your VA gets a notification to prepare a short welcome packet. When the consultation is done, AI drafts a follow-up email summarizing the key points. You didn't touch any of it, but it all happened because you designed it once. That's an invisible engine. You can scale it without stress because it doesn't depend on willpower. It depends on structure. I teach something called the human in the loop principle. It means automation should assist you, not replace you. Think of it like cruise control. It handles the straight road, but you still steer on the curves. That's how smart systems should feel, supportive, not scary. When I mentor business owners, we build a simple rule together. If it needs judgment, it stays human. If it's repetitive, it goes automatic, and we seek automation. That's the balance that keeps efficiency without losing excellence. And I've run out of time for today's show. I had probably 40% more than I was able to share. I had too much information to fit into this 54-minute show. But here's what I'll leave you with right now. As I said before, I'm a 3-time 7-figure entrepreneur. I did that in financial services. I did it in house flipping, and I did it in solar. And what I'd like to do is help you to grow your business with AI and systemization. I have an 8-session masterclass, boot camp, whatever you want to call it. If you're new to AI, I guess it'll be a boot camp. If you're using some AI, maybe it's going to be a masterclass for you. But here's my goal. I want to help you increase profits and save time in the process. I want to help you avoid burnout. I want to help you stay creative. I want to help you love your business, not just be a worker with a job in your business. You should run the business. The business shouldn't be running you. If that makes sense to you, if you'd like to have 8 sessions and learn a little bit more about how we can use AI to help you transform your business, all you got to do is text Graybeard, Greybeard, to 84503. Text Graybeard to 84503. My team will be in touch. We'll tell you a little bit about this 8-session class, 4 months, 1 session every 2 weeks, homework, instruction. We'll teach you everything you need to know, but the goal is to increase profits and save you time. Text Graybeard to 84503. One more time, that's Graybeard to 84503. Now, this isn't going to be the last time I talk about artificial intelligence. I'll be talking about it more, and rest assured, I'll be back here same time, same place next week to talk more mentorship. Graybeard out. This is The Graybeard Show.
The Graybeard Show. Learn.
Build.
Grow.